everyone, my name is Amy. Welcome to my first YouTube video on my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about tips and tricks and different techniques to become a 5-star rated seller on Poshmark and how to get success with selling on the app and the desktop, whichever you use. So I have been a Poshmark seller since September 2020 during the pandemic, and I had some time to really get into it. And for background, I had actually wanted to start a Poshmark since 2012, I think. Yeah, when I watched a Trisha Paytas video, and she had one and was promoting it on her YouTube channel, and I was like, what's this about? But unfortunately, where I'm from in Australia, we did not have Poshmark at that point. But since I moved over to the US, I had the opportunity to start a Poshmark. And since then, Australia has caught up and got Poshmark now, which is great. But I'm going to be talking about my experience selling in the US Poshmark market, I guess. So a little bit more background is I had a lot of clothes, a lot of jewelry, a lot of accessories, a lot of bags, a lot of shoes, all of that. And one person, one little me, can only use maybe like 10% of all that stuff. And so I just thought, well, all of these things are nice. Some of them are new with tags. Some of them are a bit more used, but still very good condition. So they should have another life. Someone out there will appreciate them more than me and probably use them right now where I'm not using them. So wanting to provide people with great quality products was what drove me to start my Poshmark, and I'm very passionate about delivering things that people have wanted for so long, or maybe they didn't even know they wanted it, but they're so happy and with their purchase, and that's what really fulfills me to keep going with Poshmark and what has made me become a 5-star rated seller with great reviews. So that's why I feel, since I've learned a lot, that's what makes me feel like I can provide you with the tips and tricks needed. I have learned a lot. I definitely built my closet organically. I achieved over 2,000 followers purely organically through my listings, through my engagement, through what I sell, through my customer service, and I didn't even have to achieve ambassador status to do that. As a matter of fact, I am one activity, I suppose. You do different activities to achieve ambassador status. I am one away from that, but I don't feel like I need to become an ambassador. I don't think it will change anything. As I said, I've learned a lot since starting, and I've watched videos, read articles, joined communities, and listened to other people who have tips and tricks about Poshmark, and it's really been trial and error and dedication. That said, I think that with Poshmark, it's a lot of trial and error. So there is an algorithm probably to it, but no one really knows what that algorithm is. So you really do have to dedicate some time and really try and make it like a second job. And that's what it was for me. It was like a second job. And I got so much enjoyment out of it because I was doing it to help others. And that's really what drives me to still do it today. A bit about my closet. My name on Poshmark is @AmyCarolyn. The link and name of my closet is in the description of this video, so please check it out. Make an offer on something. I'm completely open and happy to consider offers. Or like something, I'll send you an offer. I also have my socials listed in the description to follow me on different things. I would love that, and I can follow you as well. So with my closet, there's a few things you should know. I sell some rare brands from Australia that you can't get here. I also sell some European brands, some US brands, but in general, all of my listings are from my personal collection. So, for instance, I am not a reseller. There are many people on Poshmark that are resellers, which nothing wrong with that, but that's just different from what I do. So resellers will go and actively look for things to sell and add to their Poshmark. They might go to a thrift store or a Goodwill, buy something at a very discounted price. Usually they're looking for the high ticket items that will sell a lot on Poshmark, like Lululemon, Patagonia, North Face, things like that, and they will buy it at a discount at those places and then try and upsell it on Poshmark for a bigger profit, I would say. I do not do this. I can really take pride that all of my things I'm selling were either brand new with tags or gently used, but were loved by me. But unfortunately, I can't use everything that I've ever accumulated, and I feel like if I can make someone else's day and provide them with something they've been looking for or something that's sold out. I have a few Playboy items that are fully sold out and really rare. That brings me joy. So the prices in my closet, as I mentioned, brands range, everything's personalized in my closet. The prices do range. So right now I think the highest price in my closet is a Tiffany & Co. bracelet that's discounted at $200. I am sending offers for that are even more discounted, but that's probably the highest item in my closet at the moment, cost-wise. And then I literally have prices ranging from that to literally under $100 to $5. And I'm usually sending out offers even below that. The lowest I have sold something for is about $4 because it's still worth it to me for certain items, $4. But there are things, that are, a little bit more rare that obviously won't be sold for $4. But that's kind of the range in my closet. I make my closet kind of luxurious, kind of minimalistic, and they're just some special pieces that I think if someone bought them would be like a staple to their own closet. And that's kind of the vibe I have going for my closet. In saying that, here are the first tip or trick with little hints sprinkled throughout that I'll give you for becoming a 5-star rated seller and for getting those first few sales, I would say. And you do need to work at it over time, and you will see, there will be fluctuations like there always is in the market, but then you will find, your rhythm. You might see some steady growth and you'll make some sales. It depends on what you're looking for, of course. If you're looking to sell a lot of things, or if you just want to sell a couple of things but you just need some help selling them quick, if you're moving or something, these will definitely help. So the first order I will go in is if you're just starting on Poshmark and you want to put up a listing. So the first tip with listings is to make sure that you have good photographs of the item you want to sell. Taking a photo of an item at different angles is really important. Front, back, side, everything. It is also really important to show any wear, tear, holes, pilling, stains as well. Disclose all of that, because if you don't and a buyer receives the item, if you sell it, they might find something that they weren't expecting. And then you might have a case opened up against you, meaning Poshmark will review the complaint from the buyer. You will have the opportunity, and so will the buyer, to comment on the case. But at the end of the day, Poshmark does decide whether they're going to issue a refund or if they're going to appease both parties and let the seller keep their earnings, let the buyer get a refund, or if you're going to get if the buyer's going to get a full refund and your item will be shipped back to you. And of course, the buyer will be let down. So we want to avoid that, of course. So disclosing any imperfections is really important, or defects. Try to have a decluttered background. So if you have a plain wall in the background, that's great. I have seen people who have taken photos and added like a bunch of flowers in the corner. That can be really nice. But having a theme to your photos is really important for consistency. And when people click on your closet, if you have like a consistency or a theme, it can be really appealing to the eye as well and show professionalism. So I would suggest that as well. Adding a video can help, I'm not going to say it helps to make a sale, but the one time I did have a video, my item sold within a day. Now, I'm not sure if it was because the brand was quite trendy, it was new, never worn, and it was very pretty. Those things could have sold it, but the one time I did put a video in, it did sell pretty quick. So hint, that might also help. With a listing, it goes a little bit deeper than that. So you will have a title, and you should use all of the characters in that title. So you should make it as descriptive as possible. Make sure you put the brand. I usually do it in capital letters, so it's nice and clear and attention grabbing. And just try and put some of the same details in that you would in the description, in the title, and fill up that word count. When it comes to the description, I am repetitive with the description. So you can pre-populate the categories that Poshmark has in the listing. So they have, you can choose a size pre-populated, you can pre-populate colors, up to 2 colors, you can pre-populate the brand, you can pre-populate whether it's new with tags or if it's boutique, and of course you put the original price and the price you want to sell it for. And you're given an estimate on if someone bought it, how much you'd be earning. Those details you should put those details, but in the description, I like to go a bit further and kind of expand upon that. So if it's a small size, but it's loose fitting, I will put the size small and I'll mention that it's loose fitting or runs a bit bigger, for instance, or if it's tight fitting, vice versa. If I've put the color pre-populated, I will also put in the description about the color. If it's blue, but it's got like a purpley look, I'll mention that it's blue, but it's blue purpley, kind of something like that. In terms of the condition, I will take photos of any defects or anything about the condition, and then I'll mention them in more specific detail in the description regarding the condition. If it's new with tags, I'll say new with tags, great condition. If it's got, a slight minimal pilling, I'll mention that as well. If there is materials listed on the tags, I'll take photos of them, but I'll also make sure to mention them in the description. So if it's 95% cotton, 5% elastin, I'll put that in as well. I will also mention if it's new with tags, I take photos of the original retail price, and then in the description I'll also mention like this was $100, whereas I am listing it for $80. Just to give that sort of really spell out that it's going to be quite a discount that the buyer is getting. With that said, I will also add features. So if there's anything outside of the categories like zips or inner pockets, I'll mention how many pockets there are and where they are. If there's buttons, if there is just anything outside of the usual design of the garment or item, I'll mention that as well. And sometimes I'll say, perfect for summer, perfect for winter, or something like that. Now that's your listing. You should post your listing and, there you go. So that's the first tip I would have, is those details really go a long way. My second tip is to list kind of frequently. So if you have 5 things you want to put up on Poshmark, space them out, because if you list on the days that Poshmark says list now, and usually if you go to your notifications, you'll see at the top of the page, the banner will say list now, or double points if you list today, you'll be entered in the competition. Those days you should try and list. So if you have 5 items, spread them out on days where Poshmark tells you to list. And same with the days Poshmark tells you, it's usually Fridays and Sundays, sometimes Mondays as well, they tell you drop prices now, closet clear out. That's where you should drop prices, and you will find that with the algorithm, I believe that it brings more attention to your listings, more traffic to your closet potentially, and potentially more sales. So it's a win-win. So with that said, I would say that with listing, regularly list. And my second tip would be to act on likes. So when I first started, I used to get a like and be like, okay, great, someone liked it, great, they'll buy it now, right? No, you need to be actively, once you see a like, you need to immediately send an offer to liker. Usually you can pick from 10%, 20%, 30%. I usually start with the 10% discount, and then you get to choose how much shipping you want to discount. You can do $5.95 or $4.99. And usually this will help to make a sale because I found that buyers, the shipping is quite high, so they want to pay less for the item. But when they pay less for the item, it's sometimes difficult for the buyer to factor in that Poshmark takes a percentage from the seller, and then the seller gets way less. So if you can send a shipping discount and then factor in all of those things, you will be able to have a win-win situation for the buyer and the seller who's looking for a discounted shipping, and then you also don't have to necessarily lose out on lowering the price or dropping the price of your item, if that makes sense. So sending offers to likers as soon as you see them. If a buyer likes, let me see. Oh, and one other thing, if you are making a listing, sometimes I will be selling 2 pairs of leggings, so like a duplicate pair of leggings. In the description, I'll put 2 times pair of leggings so people know that they're getting 2 of the same pair of leggings in one listing. And sometimes I have bundle listings, meaning one listing will have a bundle of things in it. So I'll list 1 times pair of leggings, or 2 times pair of leggings, or one times necklace. Whatever is in that listing, you should spell out how many of what item people are getting and make sure they know exactly what the total amount of things are in that listing bundle is. Back to offers to likers. If a buyer likes more than one item, I like to send individual offers on each individual item to the buyer, and then I will also go to the sell view in their bundle, and I will add all of their likes to their bundle, and I will send them a bundle offer on top of the individual offers. It is also good to mention what you're doing, say hi, I noticed you like these items, something like that, and that you're sending them a bundle offer. With My Closet, if you make a bundle of 3 or more items, you get a guaranteed 20% off. But the reason I suggest in the title of My Closet Bundle to Save is I go an extra step further and further discount that. So not only do you get 20% off of the original price of a bundle of 3 or more items, I'm also going to send you an offer that's further discounted. I enjoy putting the bundles together. So it's really important to do that. And for example, I sold a bundle of 9 items once in one go. I was so happy because that buyer had picked out some really beautiful things, and I was just excited to put it all together for her. It was really, really fun, and yeah. So with that said, my third tip would be questions. So answering questions is really important, and this goes back to the listing. If people ask for measurements, it's always good to add the measurements from the beginning of making a listing, but I will go out of my way if I haven't added measurements to measure something if someone asks for it. If people ask questions such as if a top is see-through, I will always try and reassure them and answer their questions. And if it's even back and forth about price, they might ask me, how low will you go, or how much can we do this amount of shipping for this amount? And there's lots that goes on in the comments, but usually it's really, really necessary to communicate on the app. It shows engagement. That's what Poshmark was based on, was communities and buy and sell community where people are very engaged, very community oriented, I would say, and just a lovely community of people. The parties, for instance, really demonstrate that. So yes, so communication is really key. Answering questions, even if it's just a comment to say this is adorable, a thank you will go a long way. And even if someone doesn't buy it, future buyers will read those comments and get more information than if you hadn't have answered them. And for buyers, if they ask a question, they are wanting an answer. They probably genuinely are interested in the item. So if you want to sell an item, it's worth it to go a bit above and beyond for them. So that's kind of my third tip, I think. I might be getting confused with the number that I'm up to because there's little hints in between, but essentially that is important. So if you've sent out an offer to a buyer and they accept, great, you've made your first sale. But it doesn't really stop there because you have to package that sale. And I have used I've used a wide variety of USPS packaging supplies. So I use boxes, I use the padded bags, I use like bubble wrap bags, I've used like the normal bags, I've used envelopes, I've used small, medium, large boxes, the tubes, rectangular mailing boxes, all of them. But something I would recommend for more fragile items is to always make sure that regardless of the fact that you've already made the sale, you still, as per Poshmark guidelines and also USPS guidelines, you need to make sure that it doesn't break during transit. So I use bubble wrap, I use recycled materials from Amazon sometimes, or from other delivery services where it's that heavy bubble wrap roll, or the long amount of puffer plastic bubble wrap. I do try and surround a fragile item in that. I try to bubble wrap things. I line the boxes with a cardboard paper type of thing in case there's different weather inclinations where moisture might get in, or water, rain, snow, all of that. So, and taping up the box is really important too, especially if it's a bit heavier than you originally thought. But keep in mind that if it is very heavy, you do need to check that as well, because you might need to upgrade your label and things like that. But generally, the largest box that you can get, or the larger boxes, they do work and they're pretty sturdy. Just tape them up well. Wrap fragile things well. That's really key. Even if I'm using a padded bag, sometimes I'll wrap up a clothing item. It doesn't even matter if it's not that fragile. I'll still wrap it up. And depending on how much someone spends, if they spend a lot on one item or two items or even a huge bundle, I will try and send them a thank you card. I love doing that. It's a way to say thank you, but also kind of promote your closet. And I have had repeat buyers from previous sales I've made and ones where I've said a thank you card. So when Poshmark recommends that, there's a reason, and it's really, really, it's fun, but it's recommended for a reason. Apart from that, I also have been one to add random free gifts in my bundles depending on how much someone spent. And I find that in the reviews I've gotten, reviews I've received, people really do appreciate that. And it's just something fun, they weren't expecting it. They just thought they were getting something, and it was just something they weren't expecting. So I love it, and it's kind of a bit novelty, a bit fun. It could be anything, from like a compact mirror. Recently I sent out a scarf someone bought, and someone received it, and I had thrown in a compact mirror, and it was just something cute. So with that said, package well, it goes a long way. Add little things. If you have cards lying around, use them for something. It's good to do. So with that said, a few other little hints I've found with my time on Poshmark is, well, this is more of a tip actually than a hint. You should at least try to share your entire closet at least once a day. And that's on the conservative side, because I know that with me, I share my closet for each party, sometimes more. So there's 4 parties in a day. I will share my entire closet of over 100 listings, my entire closet at least 4 times a day, right when a party is starting. Sometimes more. I do have a lot of time, and I am very passionate about it. I do spend more time than I should on Poshmark, but I just enjoy it. and also the more time you spend on the app, the more engagement, the more the algorithm works in your favor, I believe. At least that's what I've heard. I'm not sure, I just do use it a lot. But if you have over 100 listings or even less, just try and at least share your entire closet at least once. And because I've heard that the 10 p.m. on the East Coast, I believe, the last party of the night, you can share anything to that party. And that is the party where most users are on Poshmark, at that sort of 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe, that time. So if you can just share then, you're on your way. The previous parties to the 10 p.m. one, there's for the East Coast, there's one at 12, there's one at 3, and then there's one at 7. Those parties are specific, so you can't just share anything to those parties. There might be a tops and sweaters party, best of dresses, best of shoes. I share my shoes to that party, but then I'll also share my entire closet as well. But just to give you a difference between that 10 p.m. party and the rest of the parties. That is really key. Part of the reason people get success on Poshmark is through sharing. It's all about sharing other people's items as well. It's about sharing your own as well. And it's a lot of fun. And you never know where your Poshmark listing will end up. So it might fall into someone's feed who were looking at that previously, and it's shown up in their feed and they buy it. So it's always possible. Another thing I would say is with Poshmark in general, I've heard that being active on the app is really important, but also dropping the price when Poshmark says to drop the price. I think on Fridays and Sundays, and sometimes Monday they extend it, is really important. Just like when they say list for a double entry into a competition, list now, list now. List on those days, spread out listings. If you have 5 listings you want to just get up on Poshmark to sell, maybe spread them out, you'll get more traction. I find the more you list, the more, and they have to be good items that are going to be of interest, but any item really, the more you list, the more sales, I think. And if you drop the prices of items on the days to say drop price, that also helps as well, on top of sending offers to likers. That said, sometimes people will buy outright. I think I mentioned if they're a guest buyer, which means they were Googling a specific product and yours showed up, maybe they were looking for your item, they might not have a Poshmark account, they might just be a guest buyer and just buy it outright. They're not really interested in the whole back and forth or offers to likers with Poshmark. Sometimes they are on Poshmark and they'll still buy outright. Those are amazing sales because they just kind of happen, but they're a little bit rarer. I would say the second rarest is people sending me offers. I 9 times out of 10 accept someone who makes me an offer. If it's really low and way below what I was asking for a really nice item, I'll just reach out to the buyer in some way and just let them know, hey, I can't go that low, but are you willing to do this? And I'll counter every time. Most of the time though, I do accept people who make me offers because I appreciate it, and I figure if they're willing to just go for it and send me an offer out of the blue, the best thing I can do is accept. And the majority of my sales come from offers to likers. And I just think that it's good to initiate the offer to liker, because at the end of the day, I appreciate people who choose to buy from my closet. They could buy from anyone's closet, but they chose mine. So I really appreciate it. So that's kind of all of the tips and tricks I have to give you in this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to hear more tips and tricks and hints about how to be successful on Poshmark, how to sell, how to gain success and make it work for you, while also leveraging some of the things that I think work towards your advantage with the algorithm. As I said, we don't know what that is, but you never know what could help. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you will subscribe and check out my closet and socials, and I look forward to the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.